Hey guys, welcome back to some more Pokemon Reborn. Today, we're doing another guide video. There's just these miscellaneous evolution methods that I think are interesting and worth highlighting, and they're definitely ones that you're probably going to have to look up if you're trying to evolve these Pokemon in Reborn. So in particular, we're talking about Pokemon that need to evolve based on a certain location, like Crabrawler, Charjabug, Magneton, Nosepass. There's also like Inkay, which, So, yeah, let's go ahead and evolve some of these Pokemon. So we're going to start with Charjabug, Nosepass, and Magneton. You might be needing to do this either for your Pokedex or for your team. Maybe you want to use Nosepass and Probopass in your playthrough. The earliest point in the game where you can get Grubbin, you can actually get it from an event in Parrot Outward, and it's time sensitive, so you need to do that event before a certain point in the game. You can get Nosepass from a Poffle Cave. That's, I think that's after the 4th gym, I'm pretty sure. You have to use Rock Smash, and actually getting Nosepass to appear is pretty annoying. What I did was, I just went to the cave, used Rock Smash on that first rock that's there. I left, came back in, rinse and repeat. It actually took me quite a while to get Nosepass to appear. It was pretty annoying. And finally, Magnemite. You actually can't get Magnemite or Magneton until way later in the game. I want to say after the 10th gym leader. Yeah, you find him in a cave on Route 3. So that's where you get Magneton. Usually you would need to bring these Pokemon to Mount Coronet or something to evolve them, but obviously that does not exist in Reborn, so we're actually going to come back to Shade's Gym, and you specifically have to evolve them. Random encounter. You have to evolve them in one of these back rooms. Suddenly getting a bunch of encounters. Back here. So this door right here, you can't actually see it, but there's a door here, and it's locked unless you get the Urayru key. And I actually already did a video where I talked about how to get the Urayru key, so I'll link that in the description. So here we go, we're in the back room, and there's actually a symmetrical, not entirely symmetrical, but there's another back room on the other side of the gym. So if we can just put an XP share on one of our Pokemon here, we will be able to evolve them in this back room. If you're just trying to complete the Pokedex, you actually can just encounter Vikavolt as just a very high level encounter. We actually encountered one in our Let's Play. It's later in the game. There we go. And the earliest point where you can get the Urayru key and the earliest point where you can unlock this room, it's after the 9th gym leader, so that's how long you have to wait to evolve these Pokemon. It's kind of a bummer. But Reborn's a long game, so you'll have plenty of time to use Vikavolt. For Probopass, you can encounter Probopass as a wild encounter as well. He's a 4% encounter later in the game in the desert. Just for some reason, I had a very hard time getting him to show up. I don't think he's like a daytime encounter or anything. I just had a really hard time getting Probopass to appear in the desert. So this may actually be your preferred method of getting Probopass. Getting Nosepass and Probopass, weirdly difficult in this game. There we go. My understanding is that Magnemite and Magneton used to be available much earlier in the game, but just the comments I read and the forum threads I read were saying that apparently Magnezone was just a little too good for like the mid-game, so they pushed Magnemite all the way back. Now you can't get it until, like I said, like the 10th gym leader or 11th gym leader. It's on Route 3. Grinding out that one level took forever, so definitely just bring a rare candy if you have a high level Magneton. There we go, we have evolved our magnetized Pokemon. Next up, we're going to do Crabrawler. The place where you can encounter Crabrawler is Apophel Cave. I mentioned it earlier, so that would be after the 5th gym. And the place where you evolve Crabrawler, well, you need to evolve Crabrawler on one of these 2 mountains. As long as you're on one of these 2 mountains, then you're good. You can use the map as like a sample or a guide. So unfortunately, that means you can't evolve Crabrawler until a little later in the game. That would be after the 8th gym leader, I want to say. That sounds right. I'll put an annotation on screen checking it. So you might be thinking, there is a tiny bit of cave that you can access just by the abandoned power plant, but that doesn't work. I actually tried it. Okay, I'm going to enter Celestinine Mountain, and we should be able to evolve Crabrawler here pretty easily. And like I said, it's like anywhere, as long as you're on one of those 2 mountains. So like you can even just do it if you're just standing in Ametrine City. If you have a rare candy, you can just do it there, no problem. And there we go. So you'll be stuck with Crabrawler for a good chunk of the game, unfortunately. But hey, now you have Crabrawler, or Crabominable. This interesting Pokemon that I'm not partial to. I'll give Crabominable credit for having a cool typing, but anyway. Moving on to Inkay. So this is not a location-based evolution. Usually you would evolve Inkay in the main series games by turning your console upside down, and that's not going to be possible on Reborn, so I'll show you how you can evolve Inkay in Reborn. So you may have stumbled across an NPC in Peridot Ward that actually tells you how to evolve Inkay. Inkay are creatures so strange that even the way they evolve is bizarre. Normally you have to make sure they're upside down when it comes to. But around here, if you startle one while it has the chance to evolve, it will actually go through with it. So without more context, that might sound weird, but I'll show you what is going on. While I'm grinding trying to evolve Inkay, I will mention you can get Inkay after the 5th gym. You can get it by using Headbutt on the trees in the Big Spision Wasteland. It's a rare encounter, so it might take you a little bit, but I got mine eventually when I did it. So Inkay is evolving right now, and I'm not pressing anything on my keyboard. Not pressing anything. Let's see what happens. Huh? Inkay stopped evolving. So, yeah, that's why he said you have to cancel it, or else it won't evolve properly. It's actually pretty interesting. Oh, there we go, we got it immediately. So now if I press X... Oh, so you have to... If you press X, it doesn't do it immediately, so... The advice is to just kind of mash X. There we go, we got it. It's pretty cool that you can get Malamar relatively early in the game. You figure you can get him before you fight the 5th gym leader, right? So now that we have Malamar, let's talk about Carablast and Shelmet. So, real quick, you can get Shelmet. God, I'm having to, like, recall when you can get these Pokemon relative to gym badge numbers. You can get Shelmet from Azurine Island. That is after the 4th gym. You can get Carablast on Route 1. That's after the 8th gym. Usually, if you wanted to evolve these 2 Pokemon, you would have to trade them with each other. That's how it works in the main series games, and you can do that in Reborn, actually. This game has online features. You can see I can go online, but if you want to try and make this happen offline, then there's an NPC in Spineltown who will help you with this. I actually haven't tried this myself. I have plenty of both, of course, but I require a trade to evolve. If you have either of them, I'd be very happy. I'd be very interested in procuring their evolutions through you. You'll do it? Sweet. So it looks like James sends Shelmet. It looks like you may actually be stuck with this particular Shelmet. It doesn't look like you can get your Carablast back. Your Bug Slay evolved into Accelgor. Sean traded Carablast for Shelmet. One more for my collection. Oh, okay, so technically you can use this to get the evolutions, but realistically, if you're using the Pokemon for your in-game playthrough, you would want to probably trade with a real person and then trade them back so you can keep your Pokemon. I'll go ahead and do Shelmet as well. And Shelmet, Escavalier and Accelgor are both Pokemon you can get just through wild encounters later in the game. So it's not especially important that you come trade with this guy, but it's here. Next, we're looking at two Pokemon that actually have, I guess you could say, brand new evolution methods altogether, because I think usually the form of Raichu or Exeggcutor that you get, it would depend on just which game you're playing in the main series. If you're playing Sun and Moon, you would get Alolan Exeggcutor, but in Reborn, you have to evolve them in a specific location. So the earliest you can do this is after the fourth gym. You're gonna go to Apophel Beach or Apophel Academy, and you're just gonna evolve them, and they will transform into their Alolan versions. The earliest you can get Pichu, you get it from like an event encounter in the Onyx Ward. From what I was reading, it has to be like clear weather, and it's like on that rooftop garden. Learn Psychic immediately, which is really cool. The earliest that you can get Exeggcute is actually right around this time in the game, where you're on Apophel Beach. You get it from Azurine Island, from Headbutting Trees. And you can get a Dragon type this early in the game. I wonder if this is technically the first Dragon type you can get in Reborn. Another Alolan form you can get is Alolan Marowak, and to get him, all you have to do is evolve Cubone like normal at nighttime. Otherwise, he'll evolve into regular Marowak during the day. I believe you can get Cubone from the Bixabision Wasteland, so that would be after the fourth gym as well. Finally, we're gonna waste some time by talking about everyone's favorite, Burmy. So let's say you're someone that really wants to use Burmy and a specific Wormadam form in their playthrough. Don't worry, I got you covered. So I believe the earliest point in the game where you can get Burmy is in the Barrel Ward. You can get it as a headbutt encounter. You may be able to get it even sooner, but yeah, it's definitely a headbutt encounter. And the way Burmy works, I recently learned, is when you send it into battle, it will automatically change forms depending on where you're battling. And so you might be curious, as far as Reborn is concerned, you know, which locations count for which forms. And so that's what I'm going to talk about. As long as you're outside, Burmy should start in the plant cloak form. If you want the sand cloak form, then get into a battle in an alleyway. That's how you're going to get the sand cloak form earlier in the game. There you go. Finally, for the trash cloak form, I'm kind of using a technicality because for some reason this specific alleyway counts as being indoors for the sake of Burmy. So there we go, that's how you get the trash form. I'm gonna fail to run away from this Pyroar. Yeah, otherwise you can get the trash cloak form from any indoor battle. And in the Railnet, I believe that also gets you the trash cloak form. And any cave as well. So I always thought the way Burmy worked was that it evolves depending on the location you are when it evolves, but no. I think I just forgot that there were other Burmy forms. I always just thought of the different Wormadam forms. I think I may have forgotten to mention, obviously your Burmy needs to be female in order to evolve into Wormadam. A male Burmy will evolve into Mothim. And as far as Wormadam goes, you can get Wormadam and also Mothim as wild encounters later in the game. However, I don't know if you can get the trash cloak form and the sand cloak form, so this is actually a way to do that. And there we go, that's all of the weird evolution methods I wanted to show today. If you're aware of any others, let me know, and I probably don't have enough left over to do an entire new video, but maybe in the Reborn Let's Play I'll show it off, or I'll mention it. But yeah, I hope you found this helpful. Go ahead and subscribe. If you're interested in Reborn, then definitely check out our Let's Play of the game. We're on hiatus right now, but we'll be back eventually. And that's it. See you next time.